Hello students, in today's class we are going to continue chapter straight lines and we are learning about the various forms of equation of a straight line, and we have learnt what is called a slope, right? Based on the slope only we have seen various forms of a equation of a line. In today's class we are going to learn about general equation of a line. What is a general equation of a line? Normally how we will write the equation of a straight line? Immediately we will write ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Right? Ax plus by plus c equal to 0 is a general equation of a line. We know which is a linear equation in two variables, and also we know the graph of this equation is a straight line. Right? This is a general equation of a straight line. Now we are going to see how can we derive our various forms of our equation from this general form. Right? I repeat, how can we correlate and find the values of the various forms of the equation by using this general equation of a line. To start with, we are going to learn about slope intercept form. What is slope intercept form? We know y is equal to mx plus c, right? Now we are going to correlate this slope intercept form with our general equation. So we are going to consider two cases. What happens to the coefficient of y if b is not equal to 0 and b equal to 0? First, let us assume b is not equal to 0. If b is not equal to 0, what will happen? We need to bring this ax plus by plus c in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. Alright. So keep by alone to one side and bring the ax and c to the other side. So we got minus ax minus c. So we need it in this form. So in this form the coefficient of y is 1. So we are bringing this b also to the other side. So y is equal to minus a by b into x minus c by b. Alright. So what we have in the place of m now, m is a coefficient of x. So in the place coefficient of x we have minus a by b. So m is minus a by b. What do we have in the place of c? C is the intercept, y-intercept, right? So in the place of c we have minus c by b. To identify, to differentiate, this I have represented as small c and this as capital C. So y-intercept is minus c by b. Right? So if the general equation is given in this form, ax plus by plus c equal to 0, and if they ask you to find what is the slope and the y-intercept, you can use this formula. Slope will be minus a by b and y-intercept will be minus c by b. Hope you got it. So let us see what happens if b equal to 0. If b equal to 0, then ax will be equal to minus c, x is equal to minus c by a. In this case, we got an x-intercept. X-intercept is minus c by a. Right? Minus c by a, whose slope is undefined. Whose slope is undefined. Yes? Hope you got it. Why are we learning all these? When you are solving problems, you will get a better clarity. If the question is given in the form of ax plus by plus c equal to 0, and if they ask you to find slope and y-intercept, you can substitute in this formula and you can find the slope and the y-intercept. If b equal to 0, then it will be x-intercept. Right? Now let us move on to the next form, intercept form. We know what is intercept form, x by a plus y by b equal to 1. Now let us bring our general equation in this form. Again there will arise two cases. What happens if c is not equal to 0 and what happens if c is equal to 0. First let us consider if c is not equal to 0, what happens. If c is not equal to 0, we can bring that c to the other side, so it will become minus c. Now we need to bring it in the form of x by a plus y by b equal to 1. So we have to bring this a to the denominator and the c also to the denominator. Why? Because we need equal to 1. If we need equal to 1, first step we need to divide throughout by minus c. Then only we will get divide equal to 1, right? So ax divided by minus c plus by divided by minus c equal to 1. Then again we need the coefficient of x and y as 1. So bring that a to also to the denominator. So it can be written as minus c by a. Then only it will go to the numerator, right? So similarly, y by minus c by b equal to 1. So now we have in the place of a minus c by a, and in the place of b we have minus c by b. So what is your x-intercept? X-intercept is a. Therefore x-intercept is minus c by a and y-intercept is minus c by b. Right? So again, if the question is given in this form, ax plus by plus c equal to 0, and if they ask you to find what is x-intercept and y-intercept, immediately you can write x-intercept is minus constant term divided by coefficient of x, and y-intercept is going to be minus constant term divided by coefficient of y. This is what we got here also. Y-intercept is going to be minus c by b always, right? Yes. Now let us see what happens if c equal to 0. If c equal to 0, now ax plus by plus c equal to 0, where c becomes 0, therefore we end up with ax plus by equal to 0. Clearly, this is a straight line which passes through the origin, and hence both of its intercepts are 0. It doesn't have any x or y intercept because it does not intersect the x-axis and y-axis since it passes through the origin. Right? So far we have seen two forms. From the slope-intercept form, we found the slope is minus a by b and y-intercept is minus c by b, x-intercept is minus c by a if b is equal to 0. Right? Through intercept form, we found the two intercepts. X-intercept is minus c by a, and here also we got the same thing. Right? So remember, x-intercept is going to be minus c by a, y-intercept is going to be minus c by b. Minus c by a is x-intercept, minus c by b is y-intercept, and slope is minus a by b. Yes, and if c is equal to 0, it passes through the origin. Right? Now let us move on to the next form. Next is normal form. What is normal form? X cos omega plus y sin omega is equal to p. We know omega is the angle made by the normal with the x-axis and p is the perpendicular distance. We have seen in detail in our previous class. Now if our general equation is ax plus by plus c equal to 0, then how can we obtain the relation between these two? Now try to express this in the same form. So ax plus by plus equal to minus c. Now exactly these two are in the same form. Therefore their coefficients will be proportion, right? So we can write it as a divided by cos omega. Both are coefficient of x, which will be equal to b divided by sin omega, which is equal to minus c divided by p. Now from this, if we cross multiply the first two proportions, we get cos omega equal to, we are cross multiplying it. So ap divided by minus c. Cos omega, I am bringing it to the numerator, p that side, so ap divided by minus c. Similarly, sin omega is going to be, sin omega is by cross multiplying these two. So minus bp divided by c. But we know the basic trigonometric identity which says that cos square omega plus sin square omega equal to 1. Cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to 1. So substitute these values and simplify it. I have taken p square common. So a square plus b square is equal to c square. So p square is going to be c square divided by a square plus b square, or p is equal to plus or minus c divided by square root of a square plus b square. So once we got this, let us resubstitute it in cos omega and sin omega to get the values of those two. So in the place of p, we are going to substitute this. So cc will get cancelled. So cos omega is plus or minus a by square root of a square plus b square. Similarly, sin omega is plus or minus b divided by square root of a square plus b square, and hence if the general equation is given in this form ax plus by plus c, and if they ask what is your cos omega, sin omega and p, we can immediately find the values by using this formula. What is that p? P is the perpendicular distance, right, which is equal to plus or minus c by square root of a square plus b square, and cos and sin omega is respectively plus or minus a by square root of a square plus b square and plus or minus b by square root of a square plus b square. Hope you understood. So we have correlated so far 3 forms with the general equation of a line ax plus by plus c equal to 0. What are those 3 forms? Slope intercept form, and then intercept form, and then the normal form. From slope intercept form and intercept form, we have arrived at a conclusion that x-intercept is going to be minus c by a, y-intercept is going to be minus c by b, and your slope is minus a by b. Right? And through normal form, we got these conclusions. What is cos omega, sin omega, and the perpendicular distance. Right? Now we are going to learn 2 more concepts. We are going to learn distance of a point from a line. In the previous topic, we have learnt about the perpendicular distance of the line from the origin. P denotes the perpendicular distance of the line from the origin, what we learnt as P. Now we are going to learn distance of a point from a line. Okay, the distance of a point from a line, which is nothing but the perpendicular distance, length of the perpendicular drawn from the point. So if the line is going to be ax plus by plus c equal to 0, and the point is going to be x1 y1, and we are going to mention or denote the distance between the point and the line by d. How can we find this d? Now we are going to join this pq and pr, and since the equation of the line is ax plus by plus c, we know this is going to be the x-intercept and this is going to be the y-intercept. We know x-intercept is given by minus c by a, y-intercept is minus c by b, and here the x-coordinate is 0, here the y-coordinate is 0. Now if we know all the 3 vertices of a triangle, we can find the area of a triangle. What is area of a triangle formula? We learnt in class 10. Half into modulus of x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2, right? So substituting in the formula, we can find what is area of a triangle PQR. But why we should find the area of triangle PQR? Because we need the distance PM. Now area of a triangle can be written also as half into base into height. Yes or no? What is area of a triangle? Half into base into height. Base is QR and our height is PM. So half into PM into QR. Actually we were in need of this PM only. So PM can be written as twice area of triangle PQR divided by QR. We need this PM. So bring the remaining 2 terms to the other side. So it will be 2 times area of triangle PQR divided by QR. Now we can find this area since we know all the 3 vertices of the triangle. Substituting in that formula and after simplification, we have arrived at 2 times because we need 2 times only. So 2 times area of triangle PQR is equal to modulus of C by AB into modulus of AX1 plus BY1 plus C. Similarly, we can find what is QR by using distance formula because we know what is Q and what is R. So after finding QR, we got QR as modulus of C by AB into square root of A square plus B square. Now we are going to substitute these 2 values in our PM. So what will happen now? PM is equal to modulus of AX1 plus BY1 plus C divided by square root of A square plus B square. PM is nothing but our required distance. So the distance of a point from a line can be given using the formula modulus of AX1 plus BY1 plus C divided by square root of A square plus B square. What is this x1, y1? x1, y1 is the point. Okay, and A, B, C, A is the coefficient of x, B is the coefficient of y, and C is the constant term. Yes, hope you understood. Right, so this is what I have written here. Distance of a point from a line. From this point, if you know the distance of this line, and it is given by this formula. Similarly, how will you find the distance between 2 parallel lines? The distance between 2 parallel lines. We know the equation of 2 parallel lines will differ only with the constant. If it is going to be C1, it is going to be C2. Otherwise, the x and y coefficients will be same, and we know even the slopes are same, right? The equation of parallel lines going to differ only with the constants. So if the lines are of the form y is equal to mx plus c1 and y equal to mx plus c2, the formula to find the distance between two parallel lines. How we derived this? This is being derived in the same way as we derived this, by considering this as your point and this as your line. This is a point. From this point we have to find the perpendicular distance of this line, right? And this is what, this is x-intercept. What is this A coordinates? Y is going to be 0 and x-intercept is minus c1 by m. Sorry, here I have taken c2, right? So c2 divided by m comma 0, right? Now taking this as your P point and taking this as our line y is equal to mx plus c1, we can find what is your D. And hence the formula to find the distance between two parallel lines is modulus of c1 minus c2 divided by square root of 1 plus m square if the equations are in slope intercept form. If the equations are in standard form or general equation, then the distance between two parallel lines is given by capital C1 minus capital C2 divided by square root of a square plus b square. Just we have replaced. Okay. Yes, so you have to remember all these formula. So I wish to recap what are all the things we have learnt so far, because with all these inputs only we are going to solve our next exercise. So what are all the things we have learnt? General equation of a line, and we have correlated the general equation of line with three different forms of equation of line. One is slope intercept, intercept form and the normal form. From slope intercept form and an intercept form, we have come to a conclusion that x intercept is minus c by a, y intercept is minus c by b, and slope is minus a by b. And through normal form, we have arrived that cos omega is given by plus or minus a by square root of a square plus b square. Sin omega is plus or minus b by square root of a square plus b square. And the perpendicular distance of the line from the origin is given by plus or minus c by square root of a square plus b square. Then we have learnt how to find the distance of a point from a line, which is d is equal to modulus of ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by square root of a square plus b square, and the distance between the two parallel lines. If it is of the form slope intercept form, then d is modulus of c1 minus c2 divided by square root of 1 plus m square, and if it is of the general form, then d is modulus of c1 minus c2 divided by square root of a square plus b square. You have to remember all these things, right? And straight lines is the easiest chapter if you by heart or remember all these forms. If you don't know these things, then you cannot do even a single problem in this chapter. So you should by heart all these equations of the line. Now let us move on to exercise 10.3. Let us move on to exercise 10.3. Your first question: reduce the following equations into slope-intercept form and find their slopes and the y-intercept. This is very easy. They asked you to reduce it into slope-intercept form. What is slope-intercept form? Y is equal to mx plus c. So we have to rewrite this equations in the form of y equal to mx plus c. So you keep y alone one side and bring the remaining terms to the other side. As the next step, make the coefficient of y as 1 by dividing throughout by the coefficient of y, so that you arrive at the form y is equal to mx plus c. After rewriting that, you can find the slope. What is the slope? Coefficient of x is your slope, right? So whatever you have in the place of coefficient of x, that will be your slope, and y-intercept is mx plus c. What do you have as constant will be your y-intercept. Like this, as we derived, what you should do, we have to bring it in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. So first bring alone the question is in the form ax plus by plus c. So keep y. If they asked you to find directly slope and y-intercept, you can directly give your answer by writing slope is minus a by b and y-intercept is going to be minus c by b. But they asked you to reduce it into slope-intercept form. So you have to bring it to this form and then only you have to write this. So I repeat, to reduce it in slope-intercept form, what you should do, keep y alone in one side and bring the remaining terms to the other side. And we need the coefficient of y as 1 because in our slope-intercept form, the coefficient of y is 1. Therefore, divide throughout by the coefficient of y so that you will arrive at the form of y is equal to mx plus c. Then whatever is there as the coefficient of x will be your slope and whatever is there as a constant will be your y-intercept. Yes, so this problem I am leaving it to you as homework. Y equal to 0. So what you will do? Here everything is 0. Slope is also 0 and y-intercept is also 0. Because y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to m, you can replace it as 0. 0x plus 0 you can write. Therefore slope and y-intercept are 0. Similarly, the second question, reduce the following equations into intercept form. Intercept form means what? X by a plus y by b equals to 1. So as we did in our general thing, first bring the constant to the other side, then divide throughout by the constant with the same sign. For example, if you take this equation 3x plus 2y equal to 12, then you have to divide throughout by 12, then only we will get equal to 1. And as the next step, we need the coefficient of x and y as 1. So bring the coefficients of x and y also to the denominator and then check what do you have in the place of a and what do you have in the place of b as we derived here. So first bring the c to the other side, then divide throughout by this minus c and then bring this a and b to the denominator, then see what do you have in the place of a and b. That will give your intercepts, right? Hope you understood. Third question I'll explain you in the next class. Now let us move on to the fourth question. Find the distance of the point from the line. Just now we have read what is the formula to find the distance of a point from a line. What it is? D is equals to modulus of ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by square root of a square plus b square. What is a, b, c? Coefficient of x, coefficient of y and c is the constant term. x1, y1 is the point. So if you know all these values, you can substitute in this formula and you can find what is your d. But they didn't give you the equation of the line directly in the form of ax plus by plus c. So you have to multiply this and bring it to the form of ax plus by plus c by simplifying. And then find the values of a, b, c. You know x1, y1 is minus 1, 1. Substitute in the formula and get your answer. Right? Then come back to the sixth question. Find the distance between your parallel lines. The same way they have given you two parallel lines. Both the lines are in the form of ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Then you know what is the formula to find. What is the formula to find the distance between two parallel lines? Modulus of c1 minus c2 divided by square root of a square plus b square. So if you substitute in this formula, you can find the distance between two parallel lines. Yes. Hope you understood. With this, let us wind up today's class and I want you to do exercise 10.3 question number 1, 2, 4 and 6th first subdivision as homework. Understand the concepts. Without understanding, if you by heart, definitely you will forget. So understand it and then by heart all the equations and all the formulae and then proceed with your problems. Thank you, students.